Hello. So I wanted to take a minute and share with you a little bit about Salesforce and how to get logged into the system. So Salesforce is a cloud-based customer relationship management software that's going to be utilized to help manage the relationships and interactions with our students. You'll be utilizing this software in a variety of different ways, from looking at the student's main contact information to potentially looking at their application or even reviewing their application. You'll be able to see the communication with the students, how they initially had interest in our organization and your programs, and be able to add notes to the student's account to help you and others understand where the student is at in the process. There are two different parts within Salesforce. There is the production site and the sandbox. The sandbox is used to help you when you're working on a project and you just want to test it to not mess up anything in the live production version of Salesforce. The production environment is exactly what it sounds like. It's where you're able to use any data, any applications that you have created from that sandbox and be able to use the live data where others might be working on it at the same time, adding notes, comments, etc. So there are two different versions, and primarily you will be in the production version. If there's something that you need to test or want to try out in Sandbox, I would encourage you to get with your main point of contact. Now, logging into Salesforce Production is what I'm going to show you today. And I've included both the links for Production and Sandbox on this Word document that you're going to be getting as well. To begin, you're just going to click on that link, and it is going to require you to use your web ID and password and go through the two-step authentication process. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and put in my web ID information and password and hit sign in. And it's going to text me because that's my preferred method. So let me get my code here from my phone. Of course, it's not going to work. Let me just hit refresh here and see if it will automatically refresh. Sometimes it does take an extra minute. So what we'll do here is I will try logging in again. Sometimes it will give you this little error message like it did here. If that's the case, go back to the link and it will log you in at that point. Sometimes it will automatically log you on here. It just really varies and depends on the situation. So when you first log in, you may or may not see this screen. However, to get to this screen, which is going to be the main point of what you utilize in the system, you're going to use these 9 boxes, or the app launcher, as we call it. And you can type different things in here, or you can click view all. If you click view all, you can then also search here. So the main thing that we're going to be utilizing is Recruitment Manager, which is what we are already on. Now, I do have access to a number of apps that you may not have access to, and that's okay. That is because of my system admin access. However, you will have access to the ones that you need to have access to. It is important to note that Salesforce really is like a cell phone. It is like your iPhone 12 or whatever version of iPhone you have. And each of these different components that you saw here are apps, just like the Facebook app, the Google app, the LinkedIn app, the calculator app, the calendar app, the app store, your music app, things like that on your phone itself. So when we refer to app of Recruitment Manager, that is what we're referring to. So I'm going to show you a couple quick things here, just from the login perspective. Up here is your profile. You can go into settings if you want. This is not a requirement and not something that is needed to happen at all, but you can go into personal information. You can change your information here. What I'm going to do is actually pull up a standard window because incognito is not liking me at the moment. An incognito window is a private browsing window that does allow you to sign in if you've recently signed in a regular browsing window. And for training purposes like this, I wanted to show you how to actually log in. But again, when you go to settings here, some of this information you're not going to be able to change. But again, you can go in here and, customize different things with your image and things of that nature. Again, you're not going to have access to all of this, but will be some access. Next to this is your notifications. If there's any notifications for you, you will have that there. I guess it's important to note as well that you will have the log out button right here as well. So the cog wheel, again, nothing that you're going to work with. The system admins primarily utilize this for the setup and setting up the system on the back end. Again, great tool here with the help and training. So I would recommend if you do have questions, you can do a search in here for what question you may have, or you can reach out to your support. If you hit get support here, it is not going to take you to one of us, being your system admins on campus, and that's what we prefer you to do first. We may walk you through this step later on, but we do ask that you reach out to us first so that we can make sure we're aware of what the issues may be and be able to help resolve those in a timely manner. Just because one of us may not have seen it doesn't mean that the others have not. And there is a group currently of 4 system admins on campus. So again, Guidance Center is very similar. And then here is the a way you can add new things quickly. Add a record is actually what undergrad utilizes to add a new record. So if you get a phone call, you're sitting at your computer working on a student, and you got a phone call from Susie and she's interested in Ole Miss, you can absolutely fill this out. It's not going to have all the information that you need from a graduate school perspective, but from an undergrad perspective, it will. So you could hit call. You can fill out first, last name, email, anything with the red star, current school. Again, this wouldn't pertain. And so that's why you may not want to use it and may prefer to use a regular RFI that is on one of the graduate school websites. So those are the main things that you're going to need to know to begin with. Please refer back to the next training module that will be available, which is all about Recruitment Manager in more detail.